Guys, we got to talk about Asha Sharma real quick. So something interesting is going on with the CEO of Xbox Gaming. And I don't really I don't know what's going on here, boys, because I got to be real with you. Something weird going on. Okay? Something really weird going on. I got just a weird feeling about this. Because, when I see something so artificially pushed and it's like noticeable at this point, I start to question, why is it that way? Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me every single day, 9 p.m. over on the main channel, where you can catch me live every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see every single one of you there. Now back to the main video. Why is it that way? It was kind of the same thing when Sarah Bond, do you guys remember Sarah Bond, the previous right-hand lady to Phil Spencer? Remember when it was announced that Sarah Bond just magically one day joined the board of directors over at Tyson Foods? I remember saying, bro, that is so weird. Why the hell is a tech queen joining the board of directors over at Tyson Chicken? It's just a little bit weird to me, right? A little bit odd. So anyway, this is all going down shortly after Asha Sharma obviously laid off over 3,000 some odd people, but apparently Asha Sharma is going to be joining the Federal Reserve Task Force. That's weird. On jobs and productivity, just days after announcing mass layoffs. The group is going to apparently assess the economic impact of new general purpose technologies like AI. Now, here's the thing. I do know that Asha Sharma's background is in AI. I do know that. That was one of the things that was mentioned when she ended up coming, she eventually, she joined Xbox and whatnot. Like, her history is in AI. She ended up hiring an entire team of executives that all have experience in AI similar to her. So it's very clear where all of this is going, right? It's pretty obvious where all this is going. And her joining a task force that is centered around AI, something really weird going on about this, dude. Something really, really weird. But anyway, let's see what we got. The Federal Reserve just announced a bunch of new task force staffed by private sector leaders to help advise it on modern trends in the economy. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma has been named to one of those groups to help advise the U.S. Feds on jobs and productivity, including how the emergence of AI technology is impacting them. Her new side gig was revealed just days after she instituted roughly 3,200 layoffs that will roll out across Microsoft's gaming division over the next 12 months. The Federal Reserve's commitment to price stability and maximum employment is unwavering, as is our resolve to pursue our mandate with rigor. Federal Chairman Kevin Warsh said in a press release on July 9th, the U.S. economy has changed significantly over the last generation, and never more so than right now. Each task force will carefully consider whether policymakers' means and methods, analytical tools, and policy approaches can be improved upon. I am honored that the best minds from a range of disciplines have agreed to work with us to sharpen our performance as an institution. The goal is straightforward: to ensure the Feds is best positioned to achieve our objectives in this consequential time. Man, bro, some weird shit going on, dude. I'm telling you, man. It's like between the PlayStation, killing off physical media, and the whole 2030 plan and shit, it's really, really, really weird what's going on. I can't shake the feeling that there's so much more to this than meets the eye. Because I'll say this, at least in terms of experience, at least it matches, because if they're using her for her AI, knowledge, they're using her for her AI experience. So at least there's that. Whereas with Sarah Bond, her joining Tyson Foods was kind of weird, because I don't know exactly what you're gonna what are you gonna do there? What are you gonna do there? I know there's a business side of things, but I don't know. It's just interesting. But they're using her for what she supposedly knows, which is AI. I know people are joking in the chat that she might just be an AI herself. Maybe she is an AI. right? Maybe she's Skynet and she's gonna take over. I don't really know at this point, but what I'll say is that a couple things. Number one, at least at the bare minimum, she's capable of realizing the bloat that's in the industry, and she's firing all these people. And to be honest with you, she's kind of doing it because she has to. She has to show that by her being put in position of power, that she's gonna make the hard decisions. Because Phil Spencer, for whatever reason, and Sarah Bond didn't want to make those hard decisions. They didn't want to trim the fat for whatever that reason may be. I don't know if they got too attached to the studios. I don't know if they just didn't have it in them to do it. But at least at the bare minimum, she has the ability to do that. But I do think it's a little funny for someone who fired 3,200 people to be in charge of jobs and productivity, especially when her company has probably some of the worst productivity. I mean, she admitted that apparently it took 14 levels of management to go through before any decision could be made on average at Xbox. At Xbox, it took up to 14 yeses from management before they decided they were going to either do something or not do something. So when you talk about productivity, like your productivity is in the gutter, bro. There's no way if it takes 14 people to be like, yeah, I'm down with that, or I'm not down with that, you know? I mean, so far she's doing what seems to be good for business. Whether or not it actually ends up making any positive changes, that's obviously going to remain to be seen, right? Because Rome's not built in a day, so it takes time for these things to kind of cook and, you know, before we realize anything actually comes of it. But I just find this all to be extremely, extremely weird, man. I just really do. Sharma's task force has been asked to assess the economic impact of new general purpose technologies, including AI, to inform the Federal Reserve's policy judgments. She's not doing it alone, however. Working alongside her is Charles I. Jones, an economist at Stanford University who works with the AI company Anthropic, and venture capital ghoul Mark Andreessen of Andreessen Horowitz. You might know Andreessen as the cone-headed co-founder of an early web browser who has parlayed his Silicon Valley tech fortune into a venture capital fund that leaves him with plenty of time to go on podcasts and talk proudly about having zero introspection in his life. I'm so glad he now has the direct ear of the nation's central banking system. I think the journalist doesn't like this person. What do you think? What do you think? Like, I wish, man, journalists, bro, they're quite funny. I'll just leave it at that. Sharma is also from the startup world, which we already know that, having worked at Instacart and Meta before joining Microsoft's core AI group, which, by the way, I mean, bro, the amount of money that Meta has lost chasing VR, for example, is ungodly, right? It's ungodly. I know you guys are in the chat mentioning the H1B visas with the 3,000 visas or the 5,000 visas or something, and that's why she fired everybody. That's been debunked from what I remember. That's been proven to not be true. If there's anything that comes up that shows otherwise, I'll definitely let you guys know. But as of right now, that's been proven to not be true. That was all kind of just like bullshit. But you know, we'll follow up on that and see if that actually is the case. But anyway, she was moved over to Xbox earlier this year and has moved fast to try to turn around a struggling gaming division. And the result has been brutal cuts across the organization, including senior staff who have been at Xbox and its game studios for decades. So anyway, guys, I think it's so funny, man, because Meta lost so much money, bro. So much money. It's disgusting. And they get subsidized. They get so much money, private investments. It's crazy, man. We know that great technology gets better when it gets simpler, not bigger, she told staff in a memo this week. Today, in some parts of the company, work passes through as many you see what I'm saying? How can you be a pro? How can you be a pro at productivity when you got that level of nonsense at your company stopping you from making a decision? I just think it's so funny. Our platform teams are 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation, even as our player base and playtime have declined. That's rough. So anyway, we're going to follow up on this and see if anything comes from this. But I just want to let you guys know that you can officially say that Asha Sharma is part of the Federal Reserve, which I don't know if that's a good thing to say, but I guess we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens from that. It's interesting stuff. I'll just say that. Some weird shit going on, boys. Weird shit.